Hey guys, what's up? My name is Star Levels Up and welcome back to Pesterquest. We're gonna hit start because today we are going right into Rose's route and we're just gonna click on her and just hop in. On the advice of your new friend John, you go to visit one of his close comrades. Close only figuratively speaking, since it seems she lives all the way on the other side of the country. That's no problem for you though, since your new powers let you hop anywhere, anytime, even to places that don't exist. Well, you think your powers let you do that. You just have this distinct metatextual feeling that you could pretty much go anywhere at this point. You know that doesn't make any sense. There's nothing that doesn't make sense about friendship though, and that's exactly what you're about to do. Friendship, that is. You're about to do some friendship by making a new friend. We're about to do some hard friendship right now, guys. Her name is... You check your notes. Rose! Ah, yes, Rose. Her name is Rose. This is her house, apparently. Looks kinda weird and modern, and it's situated in the middle of the woods for no good reason you can think of. Also, it's pouring rain, which is not what you would describe as ideal friend-making conditions. Still, nothing stops a mailman, not from delivering mail nor making friends. Rather famously, rain and other similar weather patterns provide no deterrent to the performance of his duty. And there is no duty more important than friendship. Okay, I just want to say that Rose looks gorgeous in this game. I love the detail to her face. Rose was one of my very favorite characters from the beginning, based entirely on looks. Of course, who doesn't love her sharp wit or her intellect? I mean, those are very defining character traits that I love also. But aesthetically, she was the first one to stand out to me, and honestly, she is the only one that continued to stand out to me. But of course, you know, there are lots of other characters I love, and we will get into that as they show up. I believe they are going to be showing up in this game, but we'll find out. Suddenly, a woodland girl approaches. Who goes there? Oh, it's your new friend Rose. Obviously. There is literally no one else this could be. You introduce yourself. You are the cool mailman who John told her to expect a visit from soon. You would doff your mail hat to signal a friendly greeting, except recently you accidentally dropped it into a sewer, along with all your other mail-specific clothes, as well as all the mail you were supposed to deliver, as you explained to her gratuitously in an unconvincing manner. It's not a great start, you admit, but you've done much worse. You are not a mailman. Yikes, you are busted almost immediately, dude. You briefly consider whether you should double down on the lie and try to say something mailman-like, or whether the right call is to come clean, since she's clearly too smart for this amateur bullshit. But it's taking a few seconds too long for you to decide, which looks guilty as hell. That's it. The jig is up. You slouch in defeat. You ask her if she would please consider not telling John. Your heart couldn't take it if he found out your entire friendship was based on a lie. You want me to keep a secret from one of my best friends to protect the feelings of a random buffoon who I've never met and arbitrarily showed up to my house in the remote wilderness like a creep. Yes? Yes. That is what you want. It's an interesting proposition, if for no other reason than its audacity. I admire your resolve in the face of humiliation. This doesn't mean we're friends, though. Oof, rough. Well, that's fine. You're hopeful. Your mind is fuzzy, but you think you remember this. You're good at this. You are excellent at making people like you through underhanded means. You can't wait to take advantage of this 13-year-old girl's goodwill. Oh, okay, whoa, wow. Not like that. Let's not be fucking weird. In fact, let that be the last creepy thought you have for comical purposes. S-grade jokes only. Let's all get our brains out of the gutter here, people. Rose raises a thin brow. There's something unsettling about her deep violet eyes. You're pretty sure most humans don't have eyes like that. But what the fuck do you know? You're a stranger around these parts. Wait, aren't you a human too? Ah, whatever. It's not a big deal. Not when there are friends to be made. Or something. Do you want to come inside? Unless I'm interrupting your internal monologue, of course. Far be it from me to ever cut short any sort of navel-gazing sidebar. It's just ever so slightly wet out here. You would absolutely love that. If it's not too much trouble, of course. You wouldn't want to put Rose out. You're lying, though. You are 100% fine with being absolutely infuriatingly obnoxious if it means making a friend. Rose purses her lips, considering. Your predilections toward mailman mimicry weren't all that John told me about. Oh? He also said that you had certain powers. Powers of teleportation and time travel. I told him that he must be mistaken, since it's a well-known and accepted fact that magic, although a popular and highly engaging subject of fiction, is fake as hell. Oh, your zappy powers? No, those are totally real and not fake. Real in a different way than you being a mailman is real, since that is actually made up. Is that so? Prove it. You shrug. Easy enough. You hold out a hand, and after a moment of hesitation, Rose puts her fingers in yours. Her nails are long and sharp and painted a glossy black. She closes her eyes and her umbrella droops. Should I picture my room or something similar? I'm not quite sure how this is supposed to work. She still thinks you're fucking with her. You tell her that you guess she can do that if she wants. You zap the two of you inside the big modern house, and when you open your eyes, you find yourself in a large, messy bedroom. Oh! She drops her umbrella. You really did that. Rose stands in the center of her room in full rain gear. Her boots track muddy prints into the thick white carpet. Surprise! You really are magic! Rose puts a small hand against her perfectly painted black lips. She seems momentarily lost for words, and you get the feeling that is not a thing that happens very often. Her eyes are wide and deeply purple. They're sparkling, you might even say. Hold on. I'll be right back. Stay here. Don't go out into the hall. It's not safe. You tell Rose to take her time. You're happy to just stand here dripping onto her nice clean floor. She leaves the room and you take the opportunity to examine your surroundings a little more closely. The bed is unmade, books are strewn over the floor carelessly, and a collection of half-drunk cups of coffee crowd the desk. Half-finished knitting projects lie in soft piles all over the room. In fact, there's a lot of evidence that this room is often occupied by someone with a lot of interests who has trouble settling down and putting her attention to one thing at a time. But come on guys, same though? I'm just like that. I mean, who isn't though, you know? Man, you relate, see? Not with interests, but with friends. You can't imagine just settling for one. So we're a friend whore. Rose has a number of posters on her walls, although nowhere near as many as your friend John. A calendar hangs beside the window, days ticked off with little X's all the way up to 4/13, which is circled. You step closer to read the year date up in the corner. 2009. But what the hell do you care about the date? You can make friends any day of the damn week, rain or shine, night or day. Rose sure is taking a while out there. She'd told you that it wasn't safe out in the hall. Maybe she hadn't just been quipping. Maybe she's actually in trouble. What should you do? Go look for her. Your BFFL's in trouble. We gotta save her. You are too anxious to sit still, and you aren't the sort of person who just sits there and waits for friend opportunities to fall into their lap. Better to run headlong into danger, or as much danger as a minimalist upper-middle-class house in the middle of the woods can offer. Rose had told you that it isn't safe. You creep out into the hallway, where a bunch of things happen more or less simultaneously. A deluge of quick-time events that you had no idea were coming. Lightning flashes in a perfect, jagged line across the tall window at the end of the hall, followed immediately by a crash of thunder so loud you think the house might be falling down. Abruptly, all the lights go out. Another flash of lightning, and vertiginous moment, you see a long, thin figure superimposed against the window. You freak the fuck out, jumping about a foot in the air and yowling like a cat. A small hand lands on your shoulder, and you jump again, because we're a coward. Calm down, it's just me. Rose speaks in a normal tone of voice, and it's jarring. The house is echoey and cavernous, and there's just something about a dark house on a stormy evening that makes you want to whisper. I told you to stay put for a reason. It's too early for my mother to be sauced enough not to notice random strangers in her house, and I don't want to go through the tedious process of explaining who you are. You have a perfectly understandable reason for why you left, and that reason is that you were lonely. Rose snorts. Cold! You mean you were cold? Well, you are soaking wet. Follow me. She grabs you by the wrist and tows you down the hall. You wonder if you should warn her about the strange wraith-like creature that you saw by the window, but you don't want to freak her out. Although her mom might be at risk too. Whatever, moms are tough. She'll be fine. This probably isn't the first time she's gone toe-to-toe with a weird slender man. This house looks haunted as shit. Rose brings you to a dark laundry room, then motions for you to take off your hoodie, which you do gladly because it's soaking wet. That's interesting. The design on the front. Does it mean anything? Oh, yeah, it is kind of cool. A blue line that zigzags on one end like lightning. Looking at it makes you feel unsettled. You realize Rose is still waiting for a response, so you just hand her the hoodie and tell her, no, you're pretty sure it's just an abstract sign. Then you stand there while she tosses the sweatshirt in the dryer, feeling the alarming currents of memory in your bloodstream. You're sure there must be something you forgot to do. You continue to feel weird as Rose hits the dryer button, and nothing happens. Fuck. She hits the button a few more times as if that will make a bit of difference when the power is out. She presses her thumb and forefinger to the bridge of her nose. Well, you aren't going to fit into anything of mine. She leads you down more long, dark hallways. Man, this house is unreasonably huge. You ask Rose if a lot of people live here. No, it's just me, my mother, and a horde of liquids not soluble in water. Here, try not to drip on the carpet. You aren't sure how you're supposed to manage that, but okay. The room is large and dark, and when Rose parts the curtains, a flash of lightning illuminates a 4-poster bed, a long counter, and a shelf covered head to foot in bottles. Rose vanishes through another door, leaving you to peruse. Yep, this is all liquor. Shit, this is a lot of booze. Here, I'm not sure what you would want to wear, but this should work until the power comes back on and we can dry your clothes. Rose hands you a long silk robe. She won't miss this. I don't think she's ever even worn it. She has this whole closet full of fantastic clothes that she never puts on. You take the robe and go into the large master bathroom. It's kind of a mess. The tub looks like it hasn't been cleaned in a long time. The robe gives you the same knotted feeling of familiarity that looking at your hoodie did, but you put it on anyway. It's a relief to get out of your wet clothes. You hang them carefully on the shower rod. I'm pretty sure we already put them in the dryer, though. Did we get them out of the dryer? And the only clothes he had on were his sweatshirt. Oh well. When you head back out into the bedroom, you find Rose standing in front of the wall of liquor. She's holding a bottle of Grey Goose and squinting at the label like she's trying to read the nutrition facts. I've often wondered what exactly the merits of consuming this are. It tastes quite literally like burning. She opens the bottle, and before you can protest that she is by no means the legal drinking age in wherever the fuck you are, she puts the bottle to her mouth and takes a sip. She splutters. That's terrible! You could have told her that. Straight vodka isn't for the uninitiated, even fancy vodka. You take the bottle from her. She hesitates for a moment, but then lets it go. You set it back on the shelf. This really is, quite an impressive liquor cabinet. Liquor wall. Liquor room. Her mom must really have a refined palate. Don't strain yourself. You can say it. What's the point of mincing words? She's a fucking alcoholic. Wow, this is intense. You're not sure if you're prepared for something this heavy. You were kind of counting on some silly shenanigans. Maybe a couple of funny jokes. You aren't cut out for this. You get the feeling that at some point, you might have been cut out for this. You might have been the sort of person your friends, or potential friends, could count on. In fact, you know on some level that this is true. But whenever you try to nail down any sort of specifics, you find a gaping lacuna in your experiences. It's all just white noise. Rose's shoulders slump as she stands surveying her mom's bottles. She doesn't even have the decency to hide her distasteful habits. Who needs an entire wall of liquor bottles? She doesn't have people over. She doesn't have any friends. This is all just for me. Just more of her passive-aggressive act as a femme fatale 1950s housewife with a death wish. It's just like the wizards. Wizards? Don't worry about it. You know how long it's been since I've had a home-cooked meal? And I'm not saying that I require or even deserve a lovingly crafted culinary masterpiece every time I sit down to eat. That's going a bit far. I know John complains about being plagued by fatherly concern every chance he gets. He's overwhelmed by pastries whenever he ventures from his room. I'm glad my mother doesn't poke her considerable nose into my private affairs, but I'm sick of eating oatmeal. Rose. I told you, don't worry about it. But you will worry about it. You worry about all of your friends. All 2 of them. Rose smiles with half her mouth. It seems to be about all she can manage. Lightning crashes. She looks so small and sad against this wall of bottles. You know how to fix this. Thunder rolls and you clench your fist. A friendship clench. You don't know who you are. You don't know why you're here. But you do know that surely you have these powers for a reason. And what better reason than helping a poor young girl with her troubled home life? Rolling up your floppy sleeves, you get to work. What are you doing? You start with the dark liquors first. In your experience, those cause worse hangovers, and are more likely to contribute to the absence of hot motherly meals and the overconsumption of oatmeal. You grab 2 bottles of rum and 1 of bourbon, which you tuck in one armpit. Then you zap out of the house and into a clearing in the nearby woods a couple of hours ago, before it started raining. You drop the bottles and go back for more. Are you just stealing all of my mother's liquor? Is this your solution to her alcoholism? Don't worry, Rose can thank you later. I love how her expression started off normal and then it just gets irritated and then she's just bored of it all. You go for the tequila next, then the vodka. Then you get sick of this organized approach and just start grabbing whatever the fuck and dumping it in the past. Rose watches you do this for a while, then she hops up on the counter, crosses her legs, and starts texting. Wow, she's really so intent on her conversation that she isn't even noticing you fixing her domestic situation. She keeps giving you little fleeting looks, and you're pretty sure she must be talking about you. You should just let her talk. It isn't right to try and invade your friend's privacy. You attempt to resist the temptation, which you fail at immediately. Not even an overused meme can save you. You zap behind her onto the counter where you can spy on her private correspondence. I don't know anything about them. I'm sorry. And here was me trying to take advantage of your uncanny ability to make guesses verging on prognostication. I'm recently considering a reevaluation on magic. You don't know who this person is. Maybe you should just... You go back in time a couple of minutes to when Rose started her conversation. Your past self is busily zapping back and forth carrying liquor bottles. You hunker down so you don't see yourself and cause a paradox or whatever the fuck. Out of morbid curiosity to shine a light on my future, I come with metaphorical hat in hand to ask you to consult your dream clouds. Do you happen to know anything about a strange cardboard cutout creature masquerading as a mailman? Are you sleeping?
Sorry, I had to scold Beck because he's been acting really weird all of a sudden. Anyway, is this the same mailman that John was talking about? The fake one who hung out with him?
That's the one. They are currently emptying my mother's liquor cabinet in an attempt to prevent her from overindulging herself.
Oh, are they drinking it?
No, I think they're just dropping it into the woods with their magic powers.
Oh, Do they know that she could just go out and buy more liquor? That's something you can do where you live, right?
Yes, well, not exactly where we live. I think the nearest boozery's a good 20-minute drive. I'm not actually entirely sure where my mother got it all. We don't own a car as far as I know. Sometimes it seems like she just has the ability to make things appear.
I don't know anything about them. I'm sorry.
And here was me trying to take advantage of your uncanny ability to make guesses verging on prognostication, as I am recently considering a reevaluation on magic.
I'm still pretty sure magic is fake. At least the kind of magic you're talking about. There's probably some real magic out there somewhere.
Yes, for instance, the sort that lets you spy on your hostess's private correspondence while you're stealing her mother's libations. You freeze. With a contrite zap, you reappear in front of Rose. Fucking busted again, guys. She sets her phone down and props her chin up on a delicate fist. Sorry. You honestly don't know what got into you. You just couldn't resist using your power for evil. Haven't you heard that with great power comes great responsibility? Rose is right. She's totally right. You've only had this power for like a day, so you still aren't used to the idea of being able to just zap all over the narrative. Clearly, you did not appreciate the implications. Zapping all over the narrative sounds potentially stressful. Oh, you bet, man. You are incredibly stressed right now. Totally stressed, 100% stressed, all the time, yep. But, don't worry about it, it's fine. Rose laughs. You apologize to her for stealing all her mom's drinks. That was kind of overzealous of you. No, actually, I thought it was hilarious. I've never really been one for pranks. That's always fallen more in John's wheelhouse. But there's nothing wrong in occasionally stepping outside of one's comfort zone. Let's do the vodka next. Although I'm pretty sure we already did the vodka also. We started with that. Right? Well, no, we didn't start with it. We started with the dark liquors, but I'm pretty sure I read the vodka. We took it. Oh well, whatever. She probably had more. The two of you working together gets the place cleared out pretty quick. You zap Rose along with you to the bright clearing in the field, and for a moment she just stands in a sunbeam, blinking up at the cloudless sky. Her expression says she still might not be totally convinced any of this is happening. When all the liquor has been transferred from the bedroom to the woods, in a big, glittering dragon's hoard of booze, you and Rose fall down next to it in a messy heap. Well, you fall into a messy heap. Rose lowers herself daintily, sitting more on her knees than her butt, probably to keep her skirt from getting dirty. You get the idea that even though she lives in the middle of nowhere, she doesn't spend a lot of time outside. You tell her again that you're sorry you spied on her correspondence with her green friend Gigi. Also, you hope she isn't going to get in trouble with her mom. I'm not unduly concerned. I'll tell her where it all is in a couple of days, although by that time I'm sure at least a good third of it will be water damaged. I'm sure this will have fantastic implications for our relationship, and not at all exacerbate the emotional problems underlying her addiction. You laugh awkwardly. Well, now you kinda just feel like an asshole. Rose lies back on the grass and raises a hand to trace the curves of a fluffy white cloud. She closes her eyes. Perhaps it's just projection on my part, or wishful thinking. But ever since I met you, I feel like something has changed. Or rather, something has failed to change, if that makes any sense. It's probably nothing. Her eyes flicker back open, endlessly purple, fixed on the skyline like she can see something behind it. And once again, you feel that there's something really crucial that you forgot. But at least you've made a new friend. And even if you don't think Rose's brand would ever allow her to call you as such, you're lying in a sunny clearing next to a pile of alcohol. And honestly, it doesn't get much friendlier than that. Hooray, we did it! Alright, so we have finished Rose's route with the perfect good victory, the good ending here. Now there are little sub arcs in these. Like you can get bad endings, not exactly bad endings, but there are like little secrets in Rose's arc, and there's another ending to John's. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to go back and replay those for you and make different choices. Like I've never even seen the other choice with the playground yet. But yeah, just leave a comment down below letting me know if you want me to go back and play that. I am definitely going to do Dave's arc next, but it might be a minute before the next one's released, so if you'd like, we can take another look at these videos and kind of flesh out every possible choice and option. But this is going to do it for this video. It's all the time I have. Thanks for sticking with me and watching this one with me, and just stick with it, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.